Over 80 companies battling out for 15 awards, voted on by 100 judges. It's the third Global Gaming Awards of the year and the 11th Global Gaming Awards Americas in Las Vegas. Welcome to the Shortlist show, where we'll be previewing everything you need to know ahead of the Global Gaming Awards Americas in association with lead partner BetConstruct. I'm Tim Poole, editor of Gambling Insider, and I'm here with Mariya Savova, event manager and the host of the Global Gaming Awards. Mariya.
Great to be here and chat to you, Tim.
Yeah, looking forward to talking through all the categories with you. We're going to give everyone every bit of information they could possibly really need ahead of the show.
And just to let our viewers know that voting is now closed, so whatever we say is not influencing the voting in any way.
Mm-hmm. No, that's an important thing to point out. We're just here to kind of analyze and talk about what could happen. I know you've put an incredible amount of work into this shortlist, into the awards. A basic couple of questions to start off with. We've got the same categories as last year, no new categories, but we've got a new room. So maybe tell us a bit about that.
Well, in terms of the categories, we did look into changing them a bit. We do that every year. We go through that process. We discuss the categories, see whether they're still relevant and represent the industry in this moment in time. And this year we felt like the categories were okay. So we decided to stick with the same 15 categories as last year. And in terms of the room, yes, this year the Global Gaming Awards will be at the Venetian Ballroom. And yeah, looking forward to seeing 500 people there.
Yeah, we know every year it's a great occasion. When it comes to the categories, no need to change for change's sake, right? Not fixing what isn't broken.
Exactly.
Yeah. This year we had the first ever in-person Global Gaming Awards Asia in Manila. How do you reflect on that, and especially considering we had a few American companies who have Asian operations, one there, and we're looking to try and do the same here?
It was so great because we've had this idea to launch the Global Gaming Awards in Asia for quite a few years now, but it was just never the right time. And then when we decided that it was the right time, COVID hit. As it happened with so many other companies, COVID got in the way and it just ruined all the plans. But anyway, we still launched the awards, even though they were virtual, for 2 years. And this year actually felt incredible to see it all come to life. In Manila, we had such great response from the industry. Companies were honestly so happy, especially in Asia in particular. I think because they really suffered through COVID so much, it just really lasted for a very long time there. They really needed an event like this. It's just a celebration. And as you said, we did see a lot of American companies win in Asia. And it's something we expect because America still leads the way, and it is the American companies that historically have performed very well in places like Macau.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you say the pandemic, obviously Macau was massively hit.
Exactly.
And we're still not quite at 2019 levels, but I think we're almost there. And as you say, a lot of the American operators, the Wynns and the MGMs are kind of leading the way there. So something fun for us I thought we could do is go through maybe our top 5 moments from the last year, looking on from last year's awards. And I've come up with mine, and I want to see if maybe we've got anything similar or completely different, but
I did think that you were going to ask me that, so I have made some notes. Shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay, right. For me, there are quite a few things that happened in the industry last year, and I've picked some that I wouldn't necessarily say were the biggest ones or the most important ones, but I think they're worth mentioning because, in my personal opinion, they're quite interesting developments. And I'm going to start with Brazil. Of course, ever since December last year, when the Senate in Brazil at long last passed a bill to regulate and establish taxes on sports bets, all eyes are on Brazil. And I went to quite a few trade shows throughout the world this year, and at all of them, almost all the people that I spoke to at those events, they actually mentioned Brazil to me. The interest has been huge. I looked at the G2E agenda as well, and I can see that they're going to cover this topic, which of course perfectly makes sense because so many suppliers and operators have already expressed interest in entering the market. In August, the government in Brazil actually revealed that 113 operators had submitted applications for sports betting and iGaming license already. Plus, we have just seen Flutter, the parent company of FanDuel, acquire a 56% stake in NSX Group, which owns Brazilian operator Bet Nacional. And not that long ago, MGM Resorts partnered with Grupo Globo to pursue a sports betting and iGaming license for BetMGM in Brazil. Those are very big brands. They know what they're doing. They've really thought about it. And I don't think they want to launch there for the sake of it. I think they really see the potential of this market. In terms of population, I think Brazil was 7th in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So, of course, it makes sense the market is going to be huge. And let's not forget that Brazil is just synonymous with sports. People have a passion for sports, especially soccer. So, yeah, I think it will be quite interesting to see what's going to happen there come next year. Because if I remember correctly, it's officially launching on the 1st of January, 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have Brazil on my list, so it's a good bit of variety to start. But totally agree with you. I was going to jump in with the sports point, and you beat me to it. Like, sports crazy, Brazil, soccer, football, and like you said, if Flutter and MGM are making big moves already, it means it's going to be a significant market.
Exactly.
So what's next on your list?
Next on my list is Florida and everything that's been going on there with legal sports betting. The legal fight over sports betting in the state was really intense over the past 2 years. The Seminole tribe rolled out its Sportsbook in 2021, then it had to shut it down, and there have been so many legal challenges to overcome, which the Seminoles did finally. As of late last year, Hard Rock Bet is live in Florida, where it holds the monopoly. And I think in addition to that, it was also just an eventful time for the Seminole tribe and for the state, because as of December 7 last year, craps, roulette, and in-person sports betting launched in Florida casinos owned by the Seminole tribe. And as Chairman Jim Allen said, this put Florida in the same league with the world's great gaming destinations.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of anticipation for Florida. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's not open to everyone yet. It's just Hard Rock, but I mean, that is very significant.
It's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Florida comes up through Hard Rock. Spoiler alert in the shortlist later on, which we'll talk about. But
we'll certainly talk about it more. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Number 3 on your list.
Number 3 on my list is DraftKings tapping into the digital lottery vertical with the acquisition of Jackpocket for $750 million. Jackpocket is such an interesting operator to me, and by the way, I think it has a very cool name. It's very catchy. We've had a big discussion about Jackpocket in the past, even last year, because it was actually shortlisted for the Global Gaming Awards in the Digital Operator of the Year category alongside DraftKings.
Yeah.
And they certainly deserve that nomination, because last year we saw them, they were launching in state after state, so they were doing so well. So no wonder they attracted the interest of such a powerhouse as DraftKings. I think it's a very clever acquisition by Jason Robbins and the DraftKings executive team, as not only it expands DraftKings' offering, but it also gives it access to a different database that may or may not be valuable in the future. Because, for example, Jackpocket is actually active in Texas, and we know that the industry is really waiting for Texas to open up to sports betting. When that's going to happen, we don't know. But if and hopefully when it does, DraftKings is already in on the market. They have a list of lottery clients that they could potentially try and convert to sports bettors.
No, that's a really good point, because ultimately DraftKings and FanDuel, that's how they started out in sports betting, using their fantasy database. So it's that's really interesting compared to my picks. I'll tell you why when we get to mine. But what's next on your list?
Number 4 on my list is saying goodbye to the Mirage.
Yeah.
On July 17 this year, Las Vegas bid farewell to this iconic resort. Just as a reminder, Hard Rock bought the Mirage from MGM Resorts for approximately $1.08 billion in an acquisition that closed in January 2023. And this made Hard Rock the first tribal operator on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, for me personally, I've told this to you, but here's a fun fact that our viewers can know about me. I've been to Vegas plenty of times. I've only stayed in the Mirage, so it's just got a special place in my heart. The opening of the Mirage in 1989, for a lot of people, is a dividing line between the old Las Vegas and the new Las Vegas. This was the Strip's first property in over 15 years at the time, and the very first mega resort. It just elevated luxury. It had a volcano, a cool tropical island theme, and it was just like nothing anyone had ever seen. As you remember, our good friend Oliver Lovat wrote a really good piece about the Mirage in Gaming America a few years ago, so I'm actually going to quote him. He says, "The Mirage transformed what was possible in a casino resort, which in turn led to national and global attention, enabling casino expansion in Asia and influenced resort development across the globe." So look at what the Mirage achieved. And now the property is being transformed into Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Las Vegas, which means that in 2027, we're going to see a giant guitar grace the Vegas skyline. And we know Vegas has a lot of stuff. It doesn't have a giant guitar. So that will be very interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, really interesting transformation, as you say. Yeah. And it's good you mentioned Oliver Lovat, because recently he did a huddle with us about kind of the top 5 properties that changed Las Vegas. And of course, Mirage was right in there. And so, yeah, the impact isn't lost on anyone. Spoiler alert, it might also appear on my list. But I think we're up to, it's number 5?
Number 5, okay, yes. Last on my list is the Aristocrat acquisition of NeoGames. In May last year, Aristocrat agreed to purchase NeoGames for $1.20 billion. That acquisition completed this year and created a new business unit under the Aristocrat umbrella, Aristocrat Interactive, which is the combination of Anaxi and NeoGames. This essentially turned Aristocrat in a leading brand, not just in the land-based vertical, but also in the online space. And we're talking on a global scale, because let's not forget that NeoGames' brands include BTO Bet, Aspire Global, Pariplay. These are brands that are very well established in Europe, some of them in Latin America as well, and North America. So now Aristocrat added products and services across iLottery, iGaming, and online sports betting to its portfolio, which to me is a very interesting move, especially because we've seen some other big companies go the opposite way and divest those type of verticals. Like Scientific Games, now Light & Wonder, did a few years ago. They sold the sports betting and lottery businesses, and now Light & Wonder just has gaming, iGaming, and obviously SciPlay, the social gaming division. Ever since Light & Wonder did that, the company has been doing so well, and just last month it posted its 13th consecutive quarter of growth. So I'm very interested to see how Aristocrat going digital will play out.
Yeah, some really interesting picks. I think, yeah, Aristocrat, I mean, we've written this year about are they sort of, leading the way in terms of how to go about it. And yeah, as you say, it'll be interesting to see if they can maybe achieve things that others didn't, because they've certainly broken ground in other areas. But it's interesting also that you kind of you're pointing out to certain parts of M&A, because M&A is a constant feature. It almost feels like every week there's at least a small profile.
Especially lately.
Yeah, especially lately. But it shows you that the industry is going in certain directions, and certain parts of it have to consolidate. If I could start my list, I'm going to start with DraftKings. I've got DraftKings acquiring SimpleBet, and in brackets, and Jackpocket, so it works quite well. The Jackpocket one, as you say, really interesting. And SimpleBet, for similar reasons, I'm not sure if it's necessarily a new database, but DraftKings, I'm always talking about, and I hope I'm not talking too much about it, but I'm always talking about whether they'll become profitable eventually. I mean, they have to, right, with all the revenue
I think they will. I think it's coming so soon.
Yeah, and well, this acquisition could be part of it, because I think the idea with buying SimpleBet, who I made 1 or 2 predictions about a couple of years ago. I thought they'd do relatively well, and I think it's fair to say they have, having been acquired by DraftKings. But the idea is live betting technology, and live betting is much bigger in Europe than it is in the US at the moment. That could be the final piece of the puzzle. So it's not necessarily new customers, but it's all the same customers, keeping them betting with micro betting, next shot, next throw, next foul. Obviously there's responsible gambling considerations with this, but people do want to gamble, especially when it comes to live betting. So yeah, I've got SimpleBet and Jackpocket you already covered very well.
We're going to cover, I said Jackpocket was in the shortlist last year. We have Simplebet on the shortlist this year, so we're going to speak about them more later.
Yeah, looking forward to. I've got Farewell to the Mirage as well, and again, you covered it really well. I think our reporter was there for the closing ceremony, which was a really nice day.
There was some very interesting guests at the closing ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the amount of people, even who've just stayed there, probably even the big names over the years. But it's also, it shows a kind of intersection because, the tribal operators keep growing, and Las Vegas, I don't know what the split will be eventually, but we're probably going to see more tribes in Las Vegas.
I think so.
Yeah, this is a big example. So a couple I've got which are a little bit separate. ESPN Bet launching, because last year obviously it was announced. I think it was announced in August, but it launched in November, and there's been plenty of anticipation. We're still kind of waiting to see the long-term impact, but they've certainly, as we'll discuss later on, as they are nominated, a big impact so far. Interesting to see how Penn kind of can challenge the top guys through ESPN Bet. I mean, with that media network and that big name, it is one of the big guys already. And yeah, it just makes the landscape a little bit interesting. You've got FanDuel, DraftKings, Fanatics, Caesars, BetMGM, and of course ESPN Bet. If I can just quickly move on to my next one, because I mentioned FanDuel. FanDuel, we know are doing really well in sports betting, but again, something else we will talk about is this year it became #1 in iGaming, in online casino.
Very interesting indeed. And it's something that Amy House discussed with you already, that they were going to put a lot more efforts into expanding their iGaming footprint, right?
Yeah. You know what? Now that you mention it, I remember her saying very clearly that is a target, and they are #1 on sort of gross gaming revenue market share. So for me, that was quite a significant moment because it was always, I think it was BetMGM that was #1, and FanDuel was a clear #1 in sports, and DraftKings #2, and now FanDuel, signed a lot of deals with kind of good suppliers, again suppliers that we'll probably talk about later on. But yeah, for me that was quite a significant moment. And I feel like I've raced through mine, but I think I've got one left, and another kind of merger, or sort of, but it was AGS going private.
That was an interesting one, definitely.
Yeah, so it was an acquisition by Brightstar Capital Partners, 1.1 billion, and AGS went from public to private. But I picked it out because it's not just AGS has done it; it's a bit of a trend at the moment. And sort of execs I've talked to recently, they've said it's not a trend that's permanent; it goes in cycles. These same companies might go back on the market in a few years, but with the way things are at the moment, going private certainly offers some benefits. So it's something that we might see more of in 2025. Certainly we've seen a few examples in 2024, and I think AGS was at least one of the most significant examples.
Yeah, and I think we were all quite surprised when the announcement came out. So I agree that was a significant one. Yeah.
Well, so that's us looking back. Now what we're going to do in a minute is look at the shortlist, which is I guess in the end it's going to be the industry looking back, because the whole idea is, it's your peers voting and telling you kind of, who are worthy winners. And before we go into the categories, I've got one final question, and that is on this note. I wanted to ask if you could just talk through the shortlist process, just for people who will know already, but for anyone who doesn't know. These are the most prestigious awards in the industry, and it's for a reason, because the shortlisting process is very rigorous. Tell us all about it.
Thank you for asking this question, because indeed we have been saying that the Global Gaming Awards are the most prestigious in the industry for quite a few years now, and we've taken a number of steps to ensure that what we say remains true. It's the shortlisting process actually is so long, people can't even imagine. It takes months. So first we give companies a window of a month and a half to put forward their companies for the shortlist. So they go on our site, they fill in the nominations form, and then after that window closes, we, Gambling Insider and Gaming America, start reviewing all the hundreds of nominations we've received across all the categories, and we also ask some industry consultants and independent experts for their recommendations, because they always have something interesting to recommend as well. And probably review of nominations and everything, I would say that takes a good month, if not more. It's a very long process because honestly, majority of the nominations we received, I would say at least 95% of them, they're shortlist worthy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we have the rule of only 10 companies are shortlisted per category and 25 people in American Executive of the Year, because we can't shortlist everybody, otherwise where's the fun in that,
Yeah.
as they say. So yes, we decide on the final shortlist and we start contacting shortlisting companies. So when we contact them, we send them a link where they can see why they were nominated. They can fill in a short supporting statement on that link, which will later be seen together with the reason for the nomination by the judging panel. And here's also where I already mentioned companies can see the reason why they're nominated, but that reason is also publicly available at the moment in our Shortlist magazine, which is out. So you can read it on globalgamingawards.com or you can pick it up at G3. We are actually the only industry awards that give a proper reason why companies were nominated, and our reasons are relevant to the Americas region and to the past 12 to 18 months. Mm-hmm. And once we've contacted companies and they've submitted their supporting statements, then we give everything to the judging panel. They capable hands of a stellar judging panel, and I'm so proud to say that the Global Gaming Awards have the most impressive judging panel. We've got 100 very senior industry executives covering suppliers, operators, the land-based, the tribal sectors, everything. And I think that's such a good selection to pick who deserves the industry's best awards.
Yeah, and all this, like I say, it's not like work that everything you went through there. All this ensures that truly the best of the best win.
Indeed.
And as you say, this is the only awards where the shortlist has publicly available reasons. We document everything in the Shortlist magazine, which you can see here, by the way. And that's also what we're here to do. We're gonna talk through it.
Yeah, of course. Oh, and before I forget to say, I mentioned the judging panel, but they pick the winners, and then, of course, we pass everything to KPMG, our voting adjudicator, and they've been our voting adjudicator since year one, which was in 2014. KPMG checks that judges can vote in the categories they have a conflict. They contact a few judges at random to check that the votes recorded in the system are a true reflection of what they actually picked. And yeah, so whoever wins on October the 7th can be sure that they really deserve this award.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're into the real business. We're going to be talking shortlist. We're going to go through the categories. So just to explain a little bit to the viewers, we're going to take turns. You're going to walk us through the first category, then it'll be my turn. So which category are you going to open with?
We're going to go in the order of the Shortlist magazine, actually. So I'm going to open with Land-Based Operator of the Year, which is sponsored by Canby. We have had different winners in this category over the years, but historically 2 companies have performed quite well there. Wynn Resorts, which took this award last year, also in 2021 and 2017. And the other company which has won this category 3 times is Hard Rock and Seminole Gaming in 2022, 2020 and 2018. Both companies are in the run for Land-Based Operator of the Year again this year. Wynn experienced strong momentum in 2023, which continued this year with Vegas properties performing very well. And over in Massachusetts, in March this year, Encore Boston Harbor reported its best month since opening in 2019. Then we have Hard Rock International and Seminole Gaming, which continue to revolutionize gaming with new Florida offerings like craps, roulette, and sports betting, as I already mentioned earlier. They also announced extraordinary hotel and casino concepts in Tejon, California, Athens, Greece, as well as the proposed Metropolitan Park with Steve Coyne in Queens. Next, we have Penn Entertainment, which launched the first ESPN Bet branded retail sportsbook at Hollywood Casino at Greektown in Detroit, and is moving forward with several construction projects, such as a second hotel tower at M Resort and a new state-of-the-art hotel at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Also in this category, we have MGM Resorts, which reported record first quarter financial and operating results, a momentum that continued in the second quarter. January this year marked the launch of MGM's license agreement with Marriott, which quickly surpassed expectations. the company also became a proud partner of the New York Yankees as it continues working towards securing a New York gaming license. Then we have Cordish Gaming Group, which has become one of the most successful and fastest growing gaming companies with 3 live branded properties in operation and 2 more on the horizon. Last year it received approval from the Louisiana Gaming Control Board to become a gaming operator in the state, and this year it was selected by the city of Petersburg, Virginia, to co-develop a $1.4 billion live gaming and entertainment district anchored by Live Casino and Hotel Virginia. Moving on, we have Churchill Downs, which hosted the 150th Kentucky Derby, which set all-time betting handle records. The company also opened a $290 million casino resort in Indiana, as well as its 6th historical racing machines entertainment venue in Kentucky. In Q4 2023, it completed the acquisition of Exacta Systems, a leading provider of technology to support historical horse racing operations across the country. Next up is Choctaw Casinos and Resorts, which this year opened its newest property, the $238 million luxury resort and casino named Choctaw Landing. Other highlights include revamping its rewards program and announcing a multi-million-dollar investment in sports icons Troy Aikman, Ivan Rodriguez, Darren Woodson, and Emmett Smith to become ambassadors of the brand. Then we have Cherokee Nation Entertainment, which experienced a significant increase in gross revenue and completed the $450 million acquisition of Gold Strike Casino Resort in Mississippi. This is now one of only a few tribally owned gaming and hospitality businesses competing with national casino brands in commercial gaming markets. Next, we have Bally's Corporation, which recently secured a $2.07 billion funding from Gaming and Leisure Properties for the development of Bally's Chicago Permanent Casino and Entertainment Complex. Other highlights include the opening of the expansion of Bally's Kansas City, launching retail sports betting at its Evansville property in Indiana, and introducing a range of new amenities and special offerings at Bally's Atlantic City. Last but certainly not least, we have Caesars Entertainment, whose Las Vegas properties reported record occupancy rates in the first quarter of this year. The company also celebrated the grand opening of its first Nebraska property. Elsewhere in October, together with SL Green and Rock Nation, Caesars announced it will pursue a New York gaming license to redevelop 1515 Broadway to Caesars Palace Times Square, which looks like a really exciting project if it's approved. Over to you, Tim.
Thank you. Yeah, some really impressive names in that category. Some we'll hear again later on in the shortlist, and interesting to note kind of tribal and commercial in there, and some really big names. But next up, we've got the Digital Operator of the Year category, sponsored by Aviator Scribe. Might be, don't know if I want to say favorite, but it's certainly I love this category. Some really interesting names. BetMGM has won the category twice in the last 3 years, either side of FanDuel, and we've got DraftKings and Rush Street Interactive as winners within the past 5 years. We start with the defending champion, BetMGM. This year saw $1 billion in H1 revenue. It's joint owned by Entain and MGM. Partnerships with the Associated Press, with X, formerly Twitter, and a newly designed Nevada app as well, led by Adam Greenblatt. It remains one of the top competitors both in online sports betting and iGaming. And you know, it's been a strong year for BetMGM. Next up, we have Caesars Palace Online Casino. In iGaming, Caesars is traditionally one of the big players, and it utilizes that land-based heritage of Caesars Palace, bringing one of the most iconic brands on the Las Vegas Strip online. It was a key year following launch in some important states last August, and there was a comprehensive upgrade in April of this year, which elevated the experience for players. Now, next up, I've got FanDuel, and it's the brand I could probably say the most for, but I actually only really need to say the least for. I'll keep it simple and say, as we mentioned earlier, it's number one for GGR market share in Sportsbook, and as we've already discussed, it became number one in online casino. With that happening this year, there's nothing more I really need to say on that one. But the next nominee is really interesting, as we kind of touched on already. ESPN Bet, in partnership with Penn Entertainment, launched last November. Within its first 6 days, the app was downloaded 1.1 million times. So we know there's an interest in the product. It's got a big database when it comes to fantasy and media. And it entered a host of markets, signing several official partnerships since. On the tribal scene, we've got Hard Rock Bet. Over the past year, it's been live in New Jersey, and a crucial differentiator, as we also referred to earlier, is it made its debut in Florida at the end of 2023 based on an exclusive gaming compact. On a similar note to ESPN Bet, we've got Fanatics Betting and Gaming. Famously, it's coming in as a sports merchandising business valued at around $30 billion. And it's been interesting to see how it's been adapting to gaming. It acquired PointsBet, finalized that acquisition earlier this year. And we've seen in states like New Jersey that Fanatics can have the product to compete with the very top players. Next up, Bet365, and globally, we all know 365 as a market leader in several countries. In the US, it's been smart so far, steadily progressing across the region, whereas you could argue some brands have done too much too soon and have ended up exiting the US. Bet365 hasn't done that, and the past year has seen some success in Ontario, Pennsylvania, and Colorado, among others. Rush Street Interactive follows, had a very good year indeed in Latin America, and I mentioned profitability with DraftKings earlier. Rush Street Interactive is keeping costs low. It's showing good adjusted EBITDA, and it's moving towards profitability as well. Particular success came in Delaware this year, and it's also very focused on its own proprietary technology. Penultimately, in this one, DraftKings, we can't mention digital operators in the US without DraftKings. As we said earlier, some significant acquisitions for the brand, another of the market leaders. Revenue sort of going through the roof this year. Positive adjusted EBITDA, and we await kind of that when it's probably soon going to announce a profit. But so far, we're looking at strong revenue and strong adjusted EBITDA. As mentioned, obviously bought Jackpocket and Simplebet to diversify its offerings. Finally, closing this category, we've got Bally's Interactive. We already had Bally's on the land-based side, and on the online side, it's seen a huge yearly growth in revenue, launching its iGaming offering in Rhode Island in March. And this category is really a competitive one. So the fact that Bally's has even made the shortlist, which is something we can say for all the companies, it shows real staying power, giving up the kind of names we've already been through in this category. Over to you, Mariya, for the next one.
Next, we're moving to our first supplier category, which is Land-Based Industry Supplier of the Year. It's a category that is sponsored by Soft2Bet. Here we have premier global developer of luxury electronic table games, Interblock, which introduced groundbreaking innovations like the Smart Pit, acquired key assets from Aruze Gaming and, as of last week, Zoom, and expanded into Class 2 tribal gaming market. Next, we have Novomatic Americas, which demonstrated a steadfast commitment to innovation and excellence, consistently introducing cutting-edge technology and superior gaming solutions to the market. Then we have LatAm Wonder, which, as I already mentioned earlier, reported its 13th consecutive quarter of growth. Q1 growth was largely fueled by a 30% increase in global gaming machine sales, so quite an impressive number. We also have Konami in this category, which introduced a number of products in 2023, including the new All Aboard multi-game packs, the new Dimension 43x3 cabinet, and new modules for its widely popular Kinetic employee mobile application, just to name a few highlights. Next, we have Zithro, which in the past 12 months signed a number of deals across Latin America, with hundreds of machines being installed across Grupo Caliente, Cirsa, and Wimpot venues. In December, Zithro also launched its first wide area progressive in Panama. Then we have Small but Mighty Incredible Technologies. The company continues to innovate and disrupt the industry with first-to-market products like Big Win leaderboard technology and ThruPick Roulette, which is the first ETG with a physical roulette wheel approved for Class 2 properties. Next is industry giant IGT, which is growing in key markets across North and Latin America and beyond. Its Floor Manager cloud-based technology debuted in Argentina late last year, while its new Whitney Houston team slots premiered in the US in June this year. We also have Blueberry, which experienced remarkable growth in 2023 by increasing its North American customer base by 50%, expanding into 43% more licensed jurisdictions, and achieving 123% growth in distribution channels. Of course, we can't not have Aristocrat Gaming in this category. In data available by April this year, Aristocrat had the #1 premium title 6 months running, with a different game in first place each month. Our final nominee in this category is AGS, which has high-performing Class 2 and Class 3 slot products and an expansive table products portfolio at the heart of its success. Earlier this year, AGS stepped into a new vertical, unveiling its first mechanical reel cabinet Revel. And that's it for Land-Based Industry Supplier. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks. So back to the digital side, Digital Industry Supplier of the Year, sponsored by SCCG Management. Interesting enough, the first nominee we're seeing on the land-based side, and this is its digital arm, so IGT Play Digital. We've heard the nominated operators earlier. On the supply side, kicking us off this year, it delivered a bespoke Caesars Cleopatra game for Caesars Palace Online Casino, as well as going live in Rhode Island via the Bally Casino app. IGT Play Digital, interestingly enough, one of only 2 suppliers to offer content in all 7 US online gaming jurisdictions. Straight onto another industry stalwart, we've got Light & Wonder, which launched over 688 games and is live in 10 regulated markets across North America. Showing its power in 2023, there was a launch of the Ultimate Fire Link Cash Falls China Street, its best ever game launch in the US, achieving the highest wagers and GGR of any game launch in the US in the first 90 days. Play and Go, coming from a European heritage, since entering the North American market for the first time in 2022, it's established itself as one of the fastest growing game studios in the region. It's licensed in 5 states, New Jersey, Michigan, West Virginia, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. And it boasts PokerStars and BetMGM among its partners, no small names there. And during 2023, revenue in the US increased at 688%. Next up, we've got Evolution, a name the Global Gaming Awards is very familiar with, past winners in several categories, and it's live in every regulated US state and a number of LatAm markets, crucially. It's leading online entertainment, providing kind of the widest and most innovative online live casino slot and RNG games. Obviously, it's expanded into RNG recently as well, but live casino is only getting bigger in the US. And Evolution being a leading player, one of its products, Crazy Time, a game I've even played myself. We're going to talk about it later in the shortlist. Sticking with a live casino theme, but of course with content overall across casino, is Playtech, very much on the comeback trail to the very top of the industry, and it marked this year especially with a key partnership with MGM Resorts, which is something that I'm sure we'll hear about over the next coming months, and we'll definitely be talking about in Gaming America and Gambling Insider as well. Bragg Gaming follows. This year saw success in Latin America and Canada, as well as signing with Golden Nugget and Caesars Palace in the US. Deals in Brazil with Superbet as well as Bet365, which we've already mentioned in Ontario, were notable. And they're followed by BetConstruct, which really offers everything related to technology in the gambling industry. And that diversification saw BetConstruct introduce crypto solutions, such as multi-wallet, custom token, and BetChain. And the company has more than 200 partners across Latin America. And as we've already discussed, Latin America increasing in importance within the industry. Next up, Continent 8 Technologies, which powers and protects 85% plus of the US online gambling market. Customers include FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, and Fanatics. All of them have been shortlisted, so it shows how big of names they are. Live in 30 plus states with a first-to-market strategy and new sites over the past year, including Vermont, West Virginia, Curacao, and Brazil. And obviously, just to reiterate, shortlisted companies, what they've done over the past year is important as well, not just something they may have done years ago. On that note, Internet Vikings, founder Rickard Vikström featured in the latest edition of Gaming America recently, and he was very bullish about the US and reflecting on Internet Vikings' story so far. Their US market share has really increased, and over the past 12 months, they've become a sole provider of in-state cloud hosting for iGaming and sports betting in 24 US states. Rounding off the category is Inspired Entertainment, which has enjoyed a busy year full of new launches. It's almost unfair of me to single one out, but I would like to single out its Terminator franchise, which I think is pretty cool, which it brought to Illinois in June. But that's just one example of the kind of deals that Inspired Entertainment is bringing to the table. In terms of this category in the past, Evolution has won the category. It won it 3 years in a row between 2020 and 2022. It was not victorious last year, but over the years we've seen winners come from sports betting, casino, and geolocation technologies as well. Over to you, Mariya.
Now we're moving to our first product category, which is land-based product of the year, where we have Gift & Go with its on-demand gifting technology, which is now used by hundreds of properties across the US. The technology simplifies reward redemption, so players receive their chosen gift without waiting in line in casino customer service. Then there's Integrity, Everest's fourth-generation anti-money laundering solution and the most advanced toolkit for AML professionals in the gaming industry. Next is BellLink by EGT, which quickly became an absolute bestseller in Panama, having been installed in a number of casinos in the country. We also have the Raptor cabinet by Ainsworth, which was released in late 2023 and premiered as Iris and Krychek's top-performing new upright cabinet after its first month on casino floors, showing above 2.5 times house average performance. Next is Interblock with its immersion technology in universal cabinets, which redefines land-based gaming with dynamic LED visuals and exciting gameplay. With a tangible impact on player engagement, dwell time and foot traffic, it has already reshaped the gaming landscape. We also have Light & Wonder's Cosmic Cabinet, which has 3,000 units on premium lease, over 5,600 outright sales and 1,500 more in the pipeline, many from repeat customers. The company says that the Cosmic games outperform the Cascada ones, which really says something as Cascada has been such a hit. Optics is also in this category with its marketing AI, which set a new industry standard for understanding player behavior. With customized offers using AI predictive values, results show a 100% greater forecasting accuracy over traditional methods. Aristocrat, with its Mars-X Flex and Cyclone sign package, is also in the running for land-based product of the year, and this product is a groundbreaking advancement in slot machine display technology. Next is Guardian Pro by Passport Technology, which was implemented within a dozen new casinos and half a dozen sportsbooks in the past year. Guardian Pro has revolutionized how the land-based industry combats financial crime and ensures regulatory compliance. Big Win Leaderboard by Incredible Technologies is our final nominee in this category. It is an innovation designed to showcase real-time wins on a core cabinet bank. This demonstrates game potential to players at a quick and easy glance across a suite of non-premium games. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks for that last category, Mariya. We've gone through a few already. There's a few to go, but we've already heard such impressive names, really reputable kind of companies. If I were to ask you, and I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but it's in a positive way, what's your favorite thing about doing the Global Game Awards?
Oh, that is a really tough question. There's a lot of things that I enjoy about running the Global Gaming Awards. I have to say my favorite thing will be when it's time to contact companies that they shortlisted. It's like, I kind of feel like Santa Claus, delivering Christmas gifts. Companies are so excited, and a lot of them email me back and say, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, "Yeah, but you've actually deserved that, because you've done this and that over the past 12 months. So it's like you shouldn't thank me. It's just well done for what you've actually achieved in the past year." So I just always love this moment so much.
And it's obviously worth mentioning, which you point out at the awards on stage, that even if you're just shortlisted, if you're nominated, that is cause in itself a celebration. If you can't win in a category of 10 huge companies, if you've made it to that list, that in itself is kind of worth celebrating.
Of course it's worth celebrating. And also what I like is we have a mix. We have some companies that are industry giants, but we have some smaller companies, and they deserve to be there alongside the industry giants as well. Because as we said a few times already, you're nominated for a particular reason. You're not nominated because you're a big company. It's because of what you've actually done. Yeah, and especially over the course of a year, the industry giants won't necessarily have as much room for growth as perhaps a smaller up-and-coming company. We'll get back to this later on. What I'm going to feed a question in so that going to get you thinking, because it's a bit unfair to ask you on the spot, but I'm going to ask you later on about your favorite moments. Okay. So this is going to be in the back of your head while I go to the next categories. So it's Digital Product of the Year, and another category really interesting. I've got a lot of passion for all these products. Starting off, we've got IGT Play Digital, which was nominated in the digital supplier category as well. We've got the engagement platform on the product side. Given the high player acquisition costs, particularly in the US, engagement and retention is just invaluable in today's market. So IGT Play Digital's engagement platform aims to give operators everything they need all through a single integration. Moving into a slightly different direction, which is a common theme in this category, there's a lot of variety. We've got Evolution's Crazy Time, which I did mention earlier. A live casino game, as I mentioned, it's one I've played, but it's one loads of players across the world have played. And in December, it came to the US, and in June, it was launched in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. And in conversations we've had with Evolution, we know they're very happy with how that's transitioned over to the US.
Even further in terms of direction, next we've got Play and Go with Gerard's Gambit. It's a brand new approach to casino entertainment design. It's an industry-first game that combines in-depth gameplay with a strong educational focus, and just those words there, that's not something you would necessarily associate with a traditional slot, so you can see Play and Go is going in a different direction there. Next up is Spribe Aviator, Aviator being the product, and what can we say about Aviator within the growing crash games genre? It is widely credited as the industry leader. It's the #1 casino game in Brazil, and it has 12 million players each month. It was a big year for Aviator. It continued its drive to the mainstream, and crash games as a genre is just growing and growing, with more and more kind of tier 1 operators offering them. And it even signed UFC fighters as brand ambassadors for the game. Now that's quite significant, really. Again, as I mentioned, it's a very diverse field, this one, and from a crash game, we go on to Prohibet from IC360, which is industry's first and only prohibited better solution. So put simply, it's an industry-wide platform that prevents those who shouldn't bet from betting, be it athletes or coaches or anything like that. And in the past 12 months, there have been some high-profile partnerships with the likes of Circa, Betfred, Tipico, Better, Hard Rock, and more. Fast Track is next with its CRM platform. And on a similar note to kind of the engagement platform from IGT, I mentioned the importance of engagement and retention, and CRM is crucial to that. Fast Track CRM platform really is well known in the industry across. It has particular aims in Latin America, but over the past 12 months, it's been used by Playstar in the US, Apostagana, and Reactivation in Brazil. Staying in a similar area of the industry, we've got White Hat Gaming with its player account management system. This provides CRM, marketing support, proprietary cashier, diverse payment options, and more. Over the past 12 months, it's powered the launch of Bally's Casino in Rhode Island and Jackpocket's Casino's launch in New Jersey, and entered into an exclusive iGaming PAM deal in the US with Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Bragg Gaming's remote gaming server is next, which was recently upgraded for its 4th iteration. In the past year, Bragg's RGS technology was launched with BetMGM in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, with Golden Nugget in Michigan, and with FanDuel in Michigan and Connecticut. AML and responsible gambling, 2 musts in the industry, and our next nominee, Connectify, has been nominated for its AML and RG platform. It's been a big year for the platform, including deals with Bet99 and Cambridge Behavioral Health. And finally, GreenTube closes out this, as I said, diverse category with Diamond Cash Mighty Buffalo. A great line from the Shortlist itself, which I've shamelessly stolen here. If the Diamond Cash series is the shining jewel in GreenTube's gaming portfolio, then Diamond Cash Mighty Buffalo is the herd alpha. Performance data includes 95% RTP, 119,628 unique players, $85.6 million in total stakes, and $4.4 million in GGR. Last year, Evolution won this category with its live craps product, but again, not just variety in the nominees, we've had a variety of different winners over the years. Over to you, Mariya.
Next is Sportsbook Supplier of the Year, sponsored by Aristocrat Gaming. We introduced this category in 2022 as a result of the sports betting boom in the US, which is only possible thanks to the best suppliers in the industry. So the category has been around for 2 years and was won by Kambi both times. Let's see who's in the shortlist this year. First, we have Simple Bet, which we already spoke about quite a few times. It is the technology company pioneering micro betting in US sports. Earlier this year, it reported 120% growth in its baseball product across the first full month and a half for the season compared to last year. It also expanded its offering with live streaming. Past winner Kambi is also shortlisted again. It continued to strengthen its product offering with enhancements, including the rollout of its AI-powered trading division and launching in-game and cash-out for its leading same-game parlay. Next is Novomatic Americas, which set a new standard in sports betting with the introduction of the Action Book Edge kiosk. Operators who have deployed the kiosk have reported increased customer engagement and satisfaction. Huddle is also shortlisted thanks to its same-game parlay product. What sets the product apart is the versatility to combine elements from different sports and markets into a single same-game parlay. For example, micro with player props can be combined, or micro with a full game, and so on. IGT Play Sports is next. In the past year, IGT Play Sports refined its platform to better serve the needs of operators. Late last year, it powered Puerto Rico's first casino brand-led retail and mobile sportsbook, Play Bets by Ponce Plaza. Next on the shortlist is OpenBet. Its technology is live with FanDuel in 22 states, and across the previous 12 months, 12 more operators went live with OpenBet's technology, content and services in North America. Sportradar is our next nominee. Simply put, the North American sports betting market would not exist without Sportradar, as 98% of US sportsbooks run on Sportradar's data, while its industry-leading AI-driven products and services power 70% of in-play net gaming revenue. Altana, which works with operators across North, South and Central America, is also shortlisted. In the past year, it partnered with micro-betting provider Kero Gaming to offer in-game micro-market experiences for football, basketball, baseball and soccer. BetConstruct is next. Its sportsbook offering, which is available to retail and online operators in the LatAm region, includes 70,000 live matches and over 140,000 pre-match events monthly across over 120 sports types in 20 plus languages. And our last nominee is GAN, which replaced Station Casinos as legacy provider with a single wallet sport and race retail and mobile product, while developing and deploying pre-built parlays, contests and an in-house same game parlay.
Thanks, Mariya. Okay, so next up we've got Property North America of the Year, sponsored by Light & Wonder. And we had the wonderful Circa property won this category 3 times, and we've had other past winners including Borgata and the Guitar Hotel. So it's a category steeped in prestige. Starting off in New Hampshire, we've got the Brook, which is America's largest charity casino. It's been transformed into a premier entertainment destination since its acquisition by Eureka Casinos 5 years ago. And it's invested millions in a comprehensive renovation that includes an expanded casino floor with a wide selection of table games. But the charity casino angle is really interesting, especially given it's the largest one in the country. Over in California, the Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel draws over 14 million guests annually, and the tribal run property has over 7,000 slot machines, 150 table games and 5 high-limit rooms. Over the past 12 months, it's seen a number of premieres, including IGT's new Whitney Houston slots, which we briefly mentioned earlier, Konami Gaming's Unworldly Riches, and more. A past winner, as we mentioned, with the Guitar Hotel, the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood, the flagship integrated resort of Hard Rock International and home of the iconic Guitar Hotel. An impressive gaming area with a selection of 2,500 of the most popular slots, including old favorites and newest games, over 200 table games and a 45-table poker room. It's a particularly exciting time, as we mentioned earlier, because we're going to see another Guitar Hotel in Las Vegas. So obviously right now, all eyes on the Guitar in Florida. Mount Airy Casino Resort follows, set up against the beautiful backdrop of Pennsylvania's Pocono Mountains. The state's first AAA 4-diamond casino resort offers nearly 1,700 slot machines, as well as 70 plus table games, dedicated poker room, and a multimedia sports betting lounge. Over to New Jersey, the Ocean Casino Resort, spanning over 20 beachfront acres on the Atlantic City Boardwalk, features 1,800 guest rooms, suites, 160,000 square feet of meeting and convention space. In July this year, the resort launched cardless gaming, first of its kind feature in New Jersey. The new kid on the block in Las Vegas, we've got Durango Casino and Resort. And it's interesting to note that opening a new property, as we've seen in Las Vegas or anywhere, it's not actually easy, but Durango has done it right, has shown how to do the Las Vegas launch right, and it spans across 83,000 square meters. The casino includes 2,300 slot machines, over 60 table games, but I think most important is it knows its audience and it goes after it without any pretense. Over to some regional properties now. We start with Maryland for the first of two sort of very big, great properties in the state. The leaders of which have both appeared in Game America this past year. You've got the Live Casino and Hotel in Maryland, boasts the most slots in the state, almost 4,000, and is always looking to raise the bar. But the reason it's always looking to raise the bar is because it's got a competitor in MGM National Harbor, one of MGM Resort's most profitable regional properties. In Maryland, it holds nearly 40% of market share in the state, and Melanie Johnson, president and COO, was another well-spoken guest on the huddle. From Maryland to Connecticut, we finished the category with 2 more regional giants. Firstly, we have Foxwoods Resort Casino, one of the largest casino properties in the US. Even so, it's not standing still. Last August, it celebrated and also introduced good old Gordon Ramsay Hell's Kitchen and a Wahlburgers burger joint as well. And staying in Connecticut, but finishing the category is Mohegan Sun, Mohegan's flagship property. One of the largest gaming, dining, and shopping destinations in the US, boasting unique casinos, 1,600 deluxe guest rooms, golf course, 70 plus shops, and of course a FanDuel Sportsbook. No wonder Mohegan is expanding in Asia when it has properties like Mohegan Sun holding it down in the US. Over to you, Mariya, but have you had a chance to think about any favorite moments that you might have had on awards over the years?
I have, yes. I think I may have mentioned some of those favorite moments to you before, but our viewers wouldn't know them. Of course, one of my most favorite moments will always be the first time I attended the Global Gaming Awards in Las Vegas, which was back in 2019. And there was this really sweet moment when Incredible Technologies won the Product Innovation of the Year, and they were so genuinely surprised. And she was CEO at the time. Now I think she's just president or chairman, Elaine. She was like, she couldn't believe it. She was the happiest person I've ever seen. It was just a moment of pure joy, and it just really stuck in my mind. And I've got many favorite moments. Another one will be, I think, a few years ago when the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians won the Responsible Business of the Year award. They've won it a few times already, but one particular year, Chairwoman Lynn Valbuena actually, she asked me when she came on stage to accept the award, she asked me, "Oh, can I say a few words?" And I say, "Yeah, of course." And she gave this beautiful speech that if people haven't seen, they really should. And another big moment for me was last year when Amy Howe won the Executive of the Year award for the second year in a row. I think that's such an incredible achievement, because not because she's a woman, and this just shows how successful women can be in this industry, but to me it's mainly because she came as an outsider of the industry, and the industry has accepted her so well and like really welcomed her.
Yeah, I mean, she came in as an outsider, but she's the first person to have done that. No one's actually won it twice in a row.
Exactly. And the actual people from the industry, they voted for her, which I think was incredible.
Yeah, the San Manuel one is interesting as well because, I mean, all three are beautiful moments, and the awards has the potential to create these kind of moments. But the San Manuel one, not only the speech, but just the pictures you'll see, they kind of bring the whole team on stage.
Exactly.
It's really nice.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I believe the next category is with you.
We're moving to Property, LatAm and Caribbean, which is sponsored by Novomatic. This is a category we introduced in 2021. The first year it was won by Hard Rock Punta Cana, and then Bahama took home this award in 2022 and again last year. Hard Rock Punta Cana is in the running for this award again this year. It shines as a premier destination with newly renovated rooms, exceptional dining and vibrant nightlife. The expansive casino, featuring a variety of tables, slots and poker room, underscores Hard Rock's commitment to top-tier gaming. Foxwoods El San Juan, located in the Fairmont El San Juan Hotel in Puerto Rico, is next. As it celebrated its second anniversary last year, the casino announced that it's working on several property upgrades, including a new entrance and a DraftKings branded sportsbook. Next, we have another Puerto Rican property, Casino del Mar, located in San Juan at the chic La Concha Resort. The luxurious casino offers blackjack, roulette, poker and craps tables, an exclusive Asian-themed area, a wide selection of slots, and a $3.5 million BetMGM sportsbook and lounge. Then we have Hipódromo de Palermo in Buenos Aires, which is constantly elevating the gaming experience by bringing the latest and most exciting games. For example, in January, 600 new slot machines from IGT, Ainsworth and Zitroid arrived at the property, and in May this year the casino collaborated with Ainsworth to bring A-Zone, which is a room entirely dedicated to Ainsworth products. Next is Stellaris Casino, located at the beachfront Aruba Marriott Resort. This is the island's largest casino, which boasts over 500 of the newest, most exciting interactive slots, such as Deal or No Deal and Wheel of Fortune, and 28 gaming tables. Sports fans can also enjoy the casino's race and sports gaming sport. I messed it up, sorry. Next is Stellaris Casino, located at the beachfront Aruba Marriott Resort. This is the island's largest casino, which boasts over 500 of the newest, most exciting interactive slots, including Wheel of Fortune and Deal or No Deal. and 28 gaming tables as well. Sports fans can also enjoy the casino's race and sports gaming kiosks. Another Aruba casino we have in this category is Wind Creek Seaport, the only waterfront casino on the island located in the Renaissance Marketplace and overlooking the harbour. It offers 280 slot machines and plenty of table games. Sports fans can place their wagers on major sports and horse racing while enjoying the action from the property's 16 mega screens. Atlantis Paradise Island in the Bahamas is also up for LatAm and Caribbean Property of the Year. It just unveiled a $150 million renovation. This October, in partnership with Play Studios, Atlantis Paradise Island will host the inaugural My VIP World Tournament of Slots, bringing together the best slot players from the real and the digital worlds to compete for a top cash prize of $1 million. Next, we have Casino de Mendoza in Argentina, which in November last year became the first operator in Argentina to leverage IGT's floor management systems technology, which enables it to meet the evolving demands of slot players, effectively transform its casino floor, and ultimately achieve its business goals. Monticello Casino in Chile is our next nominee. The spacious casino boasts nearly 2,000 slots, 80 tables, and a large bingo area. It contributed $42.3 million in taxes for 2023, almost double the amount contributed by the second biggest casino in the country based on tax liability. Our last nominee in this category is Puerto Rico's Ponce Plaza Hotel and Casino. In November last year, it announced that it will cater to sports fans and leverage IGT Play Sports' technology to power Puerto Rico's first casino brand-led retail and mobile sportsbook, Play Bets by Ponce Plaza. This makes the property the first in the country to run and operate its own sportsbook. That was it for LatAm and Caribbean Property of the Year.
So this next category is Customer Loyalty Program of the Year, sponsored by Interblock. It's a tough category to win, naturally a very important one, especially for land-based casinos. MGM Resorts has won the award several times, but we kick off with Hard Rock, which is a worthy competitor. And it's a new entry this year because loyalty program Unity only launched globally in May of this year. Not only was it marketed with the likes of Lionel Messi, John Legend, and Shakira, it gives customers rewards across 200 of Hard Rock's hotels, casinos, cafes, and shops around the world. So truly a global presence. Next up, a nominee that we've seen a few times already, Choctaw Casino and Resorts with Choctaw Rewards Club. The revamped Rewards Club allows guests to earn on nearly everything they spend on inside a Choctaw property, from playing on the casino floor to hotel stays, retail purchases, and meals at restaurants. Speaking to Choctaw's Skylar Perkins recently on the Huddle, it was clear Choctaw value their workers and members. Kind of people stay with them for sort of 15, 20 years, and if they can have half as much success with the players, they'll be seeing some really strong results. Next up, Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel returns. Club Serrano. Yamava was on the shortlist for the North America Property of the Year, and a big reason is the success in its loyalty program, Club Serrano. Members get exclusive access to events, tournaments, tickets to the biggest names in entertainment, and entries to coveted prizes that the public cannot get their hands on. The undisputed heavyweight in this category, MGM Resorts National, with MGM Resorts, formerly M Life, already a multiple winner. MGM went further this year thanks to a strategic alliance between MGM Resorts and Mariya International, which we've already mentioned in other categories. We have another past winner as well in Caesars Rewards, more than 65 million members. It's a fully connected ecosystem with members earning and redeeming credits on gaming, hospitality, shopping, dining, nightlife, and all sorts of leisure activities. With more than 30 million members, Penn Entertainment is next in the shortlist with Penn Play. It offers exciting deals and rewards online and at any of Penn's destinations nationwide. In 2023, Penn leveled up its loyalty program by expanding its partnership with Ticketmaster. Now, another operator that already been nominated elsewhere in the shortlist, Bally's Corporation, makes this category with Bally Rewards, giving members exclusive offers, gift giveaways, sweepstakes, promotions, you name it really. In May this year, it unveiled a groundbreaking collaboration with Carnival Cruise Line, so expanding its rewards program and offerings. Next up, favored by Las Vegas locals, you've got Station Casinos, which owns and runs Durango Casino and Resort, which we mentioned in a previous category. The loyalty program here is Boarding Pass, which offers a 5-tiered loyalty program and focuses more on discounts and gift shops, cashback, and points for slot play. Last year, the Boarding Pass loyalty program was enhanced with the addition of STM Charms, which rewards members with NFTs and personalizes the gaming experience. Our penultimate nominee here, we have Axel Entertainment with AE Player Awards. Over 2,500 locations in Illinois. Axel Entertainment gives patrons at its partner locations more chances to win bigger prizes than any other terminal operator. And it uses custom-built technology, rewarding participants with exclusive cash and prize giveaways, as well as access to special events. Last but not least, we have J&J Gaming with Player Payback. Last year, the company enhanced its loyalty offering with a new tiered program. In its fourth year, the exclusive Player Payback rewards program awarded over $2.3 million to patrons. Back over to you, Mariya.
Now we're going to have a look at a very exciting category. Slot of the Year, sponsored by the Sigma Foundation. Slots are the bread and butter of the gaming industry, so we can't not have a Slot of the Year category at the Global Gaming Awards. This category rewards the best land-based slots. We have had some inquiries from suppliers. Are we going to launch an online Slot of the Year category? It is something we'll be exploring down the road as iGaming hopefully continues to grow. But for now, let's see who the best land-based slots this year were. We'll start with Raking Bacon Odyssey by AGS, which actually enjoyed a cross-platform launch in New Jersey, simultaneously going live on Caesars Palace Online Casino and at land-based venues, including Caesars Atlantic City. The slot's main character, the adorable golden pig, is actually a social media star and has a following on TikTok and Instagram. Next is Firestorm Ball by Aruze Gaming. Launched in June last year, it has consistently ranked among the top performers in the monthly Eilers report, and it stands as Aruze's most enduring and highest grossing game to date. Our third nominee is Blueberry with Devil's Lock All-In, which was introduced in April last year. It brings exciting new features to the Devil's Lock series, and it actually adds characters to the Devil's family. It also launched Blueberry's new cabinet, the Beacon Elite. Aristocrat is next. We've had quite a few of Aristocrat's Buffalo slots win this award over the years, but this time Buffalo made way for NFL Super Bowl jackpots, for which Aristocrat had to invent new technologies that forever changed what is possible in a slot game, as for the first time in a single cabinet, the player can choose to play as one of 32 teams. Our next nominee is Gaming Arts with Deal or No Deal, in which, just like in the iconic TV show, players can experience the thrill of choosing briefcases and making crucial decisions. We also have Velvix with Screaming Mansion, which stands out with its immersive Halloween theme, innovative gameplay, and 243 ways to win. The game saw notable success with placements throughout casinos in California and Oklahoma. LatAm Wonder is also in the shortlist with Frankenstein, which had over 1,000 unit installs with plenty more to come. The atmosphere and ambience of the game, both in its visual aesthetic and great sound design, are evocative of its iconic character. Next is Ultra Boost Link by Novomatic, which boasts a triumphant trio of titles: Grand Eagle, Great American Buffalo, and Tiger Storm. Over the past year, Ultra Boost Link has demonstrated exceptional performance, consistently ranking high on the monthly Eilers report. A penultimate nominee is Konami with Dragon's Law Fortune, which demonstrated player popularity and operational value for casinos across the US, Canada, and Latin America. It combines the iconic Dragon's Law long-tail dragon character with a player favorite triple bonus mechanic. Last but not least is IGT with its Asian team Tiger and Dragon. It incorporates proven game mechanics, stunning graphics and design, and elevated gameplay features, including a new and exclusive bet-up structure and 3 high-action persistence bonuses. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Mariya. The next category is indeed mine, but I thought we'd go back to a question before that. Now, we're talking obviously about the Global Gaming Awards Americas, but I did want to mention the Global Gaming Awards EMEA 2025, a first time moving to Barcelona, and self-nominations very recently are now open. Thought maybe you could tell the viewers a little bit about this.
Very good timing to mention indeed, as honestly we have just opened the self-nominations window, and next year will be an exciting year for the Global Gaming Awards Europe, Middle East and Africa, and as you mentioned, we are moving to Barcelona, which is a pretty big change. We've had a fantastic 7 years having the event in the Hippodrome Casino in London, which is one of, not just London's, one of UK's best and most iconic properties. And it's been an honor and a privilege to work with the Hippodrome team. But as is tradition, the Global Gaming Awards, Europe, Middle East and Africa are held on the Monday of ICE Week. And since ICE is making a move to Barcelona, we'll be heading there as well. And I do encourage all companies that are active in the EMEA region to please go on globalgamingawards.com and tell us what you've achieved in the past 12 months. But please be as specific as you can about your achievements in that region and from the past year, as generic company bios won't really get your nomination. We really want to know the specifics of what you actually did. And please do so by October the 11th.
Absolutely, yeah. Exciting times for the awards at Barcelona, but as you say, the Hippodrome steeped in history, and nothing but thanks from the awards and from Gambling Insider to the Hippodrome for all the memories, yeah. So Payment Solution of the Year is next, and it's a relatively young category, introduced in 2021. The availability of payment solutions and providers is only increasing every year, and the awards kind of acknowledge that in 2021, making this its fourth iteration. Payments, such a simple product when you describe it, but when you get down to the details, it's very complex indeed. And we begin with a two-time winner in Sightline, which is the only digital payment solution that is fully integrated with every CMS and is the preferred payment solution for 70 plus partners in 40 plus states. Sightline Pay reduces churn costs, and we were looking to make it 3 out of 4 in this category this year. But next up, we've got PaySave, which over the last 12 months has expanded into 8 US markets, so it's now live in 33. A lot of progress in the last 12 months, launching Pay by Bank, an instant open banking solution. New US partners include Better, ESPN Bet, Fanatics, and Prize Picks, while there's also been success in LatAm. So if you've been listening to the show so far, you would have heard some of those names. So these are certainly partners you want to be working with. Last year's winner was with Cash Club Wallet, and it's nominated again. A digital wallet that elevates engagement with frictionless omnichannel payments, incorporating more funding sources than ever before, including PayPal and Apple Pay. And Cash Club Wallet is simply playing a leading part in the drive for cashless. Elsewhere in the category, we've got Pavilion Payments with VIP Preferred. The solution allows patrons to connect to over 400 in-person and online gaming sites with just one enrollment. Its uptime and customer service ensures support when casinos need and players need that support the most. We have Coin Payments next, which offers versatile payment options for gaming, dining, and retail, usable both inside and outside the resort. The adaptability establishes Coin as a specialist for gaming and resort sectors. Passport Technology is next moving on and nominated with DataStream, the industry's most secure cloud-based ATM and debit processing platform. DataStream seamlessly integrates ATM technology with secure debit processing. Next up is it's interesting because it's not a specific payments company. We've got Light & Wonder, which, as we've heard, is already nominated in casino categories, but it's in the payments category as well with Rapid Play. Light & Wonder is obviously, as I say, known for its traditionally for its casino games, but in less than 8 seconds, Rapid Play cashless payment solution allows players to scan a QR code and an EGM and make direct online transfers from their bank accounts. So it covers really the whole process with the company. Up next is PayNearMe's Moneyline platform, the only end-to-end payment platform and gateway that gives digital gaming operators access to all major tender types for deposits and withdrawals through one integration and contract. Beyond payments, it offers fraud tools and data insights that help operators boost revenue and reduce risk. Following, Suzo App with Cash.io Cash Redemption Terminal. The Cash.io Redemption Terminal is a versatile systems with all the features needed to support casino operators. Once a bet has been won or a remaining balance voucher printed, customers only need to go to this self-service terminal to scan the tickets easily and get their cash payout. So we're seeing some land-based products and some digital products in this category as well. And finally, we've got Crane Payment Innovations, closing off the category with BetBridge. It offers a simple, holistic, turnkey solution that includes installation, activation, and ongoing system security support to ensure casinos deliver a seamless player experience. Okay, seamlessly over to you, Mariya.
Thank you very much, Tim. Next, we have Product Innovation of the Year, sponsored by Play & Go. And this is, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it, this is my favorite category, as it just proves to me year after year how incredibly cool the gaming industry is and how lucky and privileged I feel to be able to work in this industry. We launched this category in 2018 and it has had a different winner every year. We have had Evolution with Lightning Dollar Roulette, win this in 2018, then Incredible Technologies with Infinity V55 Edge in 2019. Light and Wonder, then Scientific Games with Contactless Gaming Solution in 2020. IGT's Resort Wallet with IGT Pay in 2021. Arusa Gaming with Go Go Claw in 2022. Acres with Cashless Casino last year. Basically anything goes and anything is possible in this category. And let's see who we have this year. We'll start with Slot Suite by Casino Track, which seamlessly integrates PlayerLink Casino Track's 6.2-inch player tracking interface with Transact Technologies' Epicentral solution for custom on-demand printing via the existing Casino Track slot network without added infrastructure. Then we have last year's winner Acres, but this time shortlisted for player budget, which revolutionizes casino marketing by pinpointing the dollar value each patron is able to spend. The tool enables personalized data-driven campaigns that maximize profits while reducing waste. Eclipse Gaming is also in the shortlist with Duck Dollars, its latest innovative title from the high-performing Cash Arcade series. It premiered at the end of last year, taking players back to the nostalgic days of carnival games. Players collect cannons to fire rubber ducks and mystery targets to win multi-level jackpots. Next, we have Interblock with the Smart Bid, which actually already won a Global Gaming Award, but that was for our Asia Pacific event. Smart Bids feature advanced technology and live dealers who facilitate and triple the number of decisions per hour, eliminate payout errors, and provide a more personalized gaming experience. The Smart Bid Live Craps in particular is currently performing exceptionally well at the Las Vegas Strip. Inspired Entertainment is our next nominee with Hybrid Dealer. Introduced in 2023, Hybrid Dealer represents a leap forward in live dealer gaming. It combines virtual CGI with green screen technology and footage of real hosts, offering players branded casino and game show content by blending physical and digital elements in a way that offers operators unlimited customization possibilities. Then we have Light and Wonder again with Engage AI. Engage enables operators to leverage data to execute a curated customer journey at every touch point, regardless of location, vertical, or platform. With Engage's new groundbreaking artificial intelligence tool, operators have access to real-time data and actionable triggered insights. Playtech is our next nominee with MGM Live, which already came up in one of the earlier categories. In partnership with MGM Resorts, Playtech is now offering on-demand immersive online experiences straight from the iconic Bellagio and MGM Grand. Announced in June this year, the innovative MGM Live content is a first in the industry and enables both online and in-person players to participate in the game simultaneously. Pavilion Payments, a payments company, has made it to the shortlist in this category as well, with its VIP Nomad with mobile jackpots, which provides frictionless jackpot processing. Thanks to this mobile solution, casino staff can process a jackpot in less than 5 minutes right at the slot machine, since the VIP Nomad platform places the power of a jackpot workstation right in the palm of the slot attendant's hand. Our penultimate nominee for product innovation is MarketTrax. Working with a CMS provider and local casino operator, the company successfully completed a Nevada field trial and received state approval to offer single-line, multi-property digital credit lines tied to a casino's existing loyalty program. This is a true first in the gaming industry and is set to transform the gaming credit experience. Our 10th nominee is Sideline, another payments company with Deposit Plus, which was unveiled in October last year. With Deposit Plus, casinos have daily access to cash that is sitting idle in slot machines and Tito kiosks, empowering them to use that cash as a working capital. The product has no hardware or software requirements, and with it, whatever cash is in the slot machine or the Tito kiosk can be in the bank and ready for reinvestment daily. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Mariya. I can see exactly why you like that category, so much diversity.
It is indeed.
Yeah. My next category here, Responsible Business of the Year, sponsored by Playtech. Now this, hugely important category within the industry. And San Manuel Band of Mission Indians have won this award for the last 3 years, showing real success. But prior to that, we've had 4 different winners. Kicking off the category is Interblock Gaming. In March this year, it launched its philanthropic arm, Interblock Inspires. The program comprises of a series of initiatives, monetary contributions, and employer volunteer efforts dedicated to several causes, including Gigi's Playhouse, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and more. Next up, we've got another repeat nominee from other categories, Hard Rock International. And for the past 50 years, Hard Rock has been guided by 4 mottos: love all, serve all is one, save the planet, and take time to be kind. The company champions, and the tribe, Seminole Tribe champions, invest in hunger relief, cancer prevention, DEI, human trafficking prevention, responsible gaming, children's hospice care, socioeconomic conditions, and inspiring people's connection to music. On the new initiative side, FanDuel continues to advance its RG commitments. A few new programs announced this year. The operator has expanded its RG Ambassador program, welcoming soccer icon Carly Lloyd and professional golfer Tom Kim. Even this month, it launched its Trusted Voices initiative to guide families on problem gambling discussions. When it comes to social responsibility, there are a few like Eureka Casinos. We've mentioned them in a different category earlier, but all of Eureka Casinos' properties are 100% employee-owned. Meanwhile, the Brook, as we also mentioned earlier, in New Hampshire is America's largest charity casino. Since 2019, it's raised over $16 million for essential charities, with contributions totaling more than $8 million in 2023 alone. Choctaw, which we've mentioned a few times, it's been nominated several times this year, and Choctaw Casino and Resorts this year, in this category, it partnered with the Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology to create a food and beverage training program at no cost to associates working within hospitality. And Choctaw Casino's employees can take advantage of the Employee Education Assistance Program, which provides up to $5,000 per year in financial assistance to attend an accredited college or university for associates, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree. Next up, an industry giant in Aristocrat Gaming. Again, nominated several times, but it shows that responsibility is not low on its agenda either, because it's made this category. Last year, it donated $2 million across 100+ organizations, and its employees volunteered 2,500 hours to local nonprofits. The Spire also launched its Know Your Max Positive Play campaign and dedicated advertising running alongside marketing, including its NFL slot campaigns. Another repeat nominee across categories is the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. As I say, 3 years in a row winning this category. For more than 2 decades, the tribe has made generous contributions, over $400 million to date, to nonprofits and government agencies. Recent gifts include $1 million to Olive Crest to serve families in crisis, $2.2 million to San Bernardino Valley College, and the list of donations continues. Next on the shortlist, regulators and operators worldwide rely on GLI for its responsible gaming expertise. GLI provides RG product analysis, project management, training and education, and assessment services, and is a past winner in this category. On the operator side, we have another industry giant in Caesars Entertainment. Caesars is committed to its communities, employees, suppliers, and the environment through its People, Planet, Play framework. In recent years, it's made progress with its exclusion programs and with employee volunteering, as well as the company providing supplies to schools. Last but not least in this category, we've got RG 24/7 Virtual Training, a BMM Innovation Group company which provides responsible, effective, and free training to global gaming employees. RG knowledge is essential for kind of employees across the industry, and this free training is a really good way of getting across the industry. They're adding Spanish and Portuguese subtitles to its US-based courses. They did that earlier this year, and they're always expanding. So we're on to our final category now.
We made it.
Yeah. American Executive of the Year, sponsored by Bragg Gaming. It's a little different to the others because it has 25 nominees and it celebrates the individual. And actually, it's a little bit different now to perhaps recent years. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Historically, in the first few editions of the Global Gaming Awards, the category was very CEO focused. It was mainly the chief executives or the managing directors that made it to the shortlist, and there's still quite a few of those that have made it to this year's shortlist. But what we started seeing more and more is that companies decided to put forward the other people, the unsung heroes in the company that we wouldn't necessarily know about. It could be the chief human resources officer or somebody from the legal department, and it's been actually beautiful to see how the companies just love celebrating their colleagues as well as their chief executives. But it's for me, it's been very interesting to learn more about what these other people do in some of the industry's biggest companies.
Yeah, it's really nice, as you say, how companies celebrate this. And very often on huddles, we'll speak to CEOs and they'll say, "It's not me, it's my team." And here in this exec category, we're seeing examples of, still high-level members, but perhaps, as you say, unsung heroes, members of the C-level or others in the organization that aren't necessarily the face all the time,
Exactly.
but their contribution is acknowledged here. So we're going to do this one slightly differently. We're both going to go through this one. We're going to take turns, but I'm going to let you kick off.
First, we have Dana Jackal, a driving force at LatAm Wonders iGaming division. She's Vice President Commercial and Managing Director US iGaming, and her visionary approach to mobile transformation and expanding the company's jackpot strategy has generated unprecedented growth and market dominance, propelling LatAm Wonder to the forefront of iGaming.
I'm going to kick off with Adam Greenblatt, the BetMGM CEO. He was the very first guest of 2024 on the huddle, and you can see why people respond to his demeanor and his management style. As we've already mentioned, H1 net revenue for BetMGM was $1 billion, and it continues to compete with FanDuel and DraftKings in both online casino and sports betting. And I think there's no doubt about it, Adam Greenblatt is playing a big part in that.
Next on my list is Brian Christopher, the original social media influencer for casino floor slots. An innovator in the industry, he has a designated BC slot section at Plaza in downtown Las Vegas. He also co-created a slot machine with Gaming Arts last year. He's now taken his experience of understanding slots and created a content production and marketing firm which helps operators reach casino players monthly.
That's a really interesting inclusion, and it shows how the industry is changing, because he's gone from slot streamer to nominated for executive of the year.
The industry is really embraced him, from both suppliers and operators. Absolutely love Brian Christopher.
Yeah, absolutely. Another huddle guest next up for me is Andre Carrier. I've mentioned Eureka Casinos already. He's the CEO, a man of experience. Eureka Casinos, as I say, does things slightly differently, an employee-owned model with charitable gaming in there as well. So in New Hampshire, the Brook gives 35% of all its proceeds to charity. This year, Carrier, it's been busy for him, sorry. Him and his team have overseen over a $100 million remodel of Eureka Casino Resort in Nevada. So a very big year for Andre.
Next on my list is the CEO of J&J Gaming, Robert Willenborg. He has overseen the company's growth to serve over 3,600 locations, making it the United States' largest revenue-producing terminal operator. He joined the American Gaming Association Board of Directors in 2023, becoming the first distributor gaming operator to hold a board member seat.
Ray Pino, next for me, President and CEO of Mohegan, an interviewee in our Gaming America CEO special this year. He's a big believer in the Mohegan way. I know this is an American Awards, but what is most impressive about the Mohegan tribe this year, and Pino and his team have launched a new property in South Korea, but they've, as we've said earlier, they've still continued to keep operations going smoothly in the US, and in fact are looking to expand those with their bid for a New York license as well.
Chris Hill is the next on the list. She's the Chief Legal Officer of Aristocrat. She leads Aristocrat's global legal and compliance functions, a massive, massive job, as the company's licensed in over 300 jurisdictions, operates in more than 90 countries, and offers a unique blend of products and services for Class 2, Class 3, and online gaming. She also served as a board member of Global Gaming Women, helping to bring mentorship and inspiration to women across the industry.
We talked about how the industry is changing with an inclusion like Brian Christopher. Steven Saltz, CEO of Rivalry, is another example perhaps of that, because we have an operator that's aiming for Gen Z players, predominantly esports. It's led by Saltz and his team, a very young C-level team as well. Another huddle guest this year. Highlights included launching a new crypto token, betting handle and revenue rising, and more. And we might be talking about smaller totals with esports operators at the moment, but we're talking about very high levels of growth. So total levels will, with time, increase as well.
Also on the shortlist is Kenji Hall. He leads the strategic execution and performance of daily gaming and hospitality operations and Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Since taking over the general manager role in June last year, he has scaled the property's gaming offerings, making Yamovaz Casino the largest in the West, with 7,200 slots, 11 world premieres, and 14 first-to-market games in 2023.
Amy Howe next, and what more can we really say about Amy Howe? We've mentioned her already. She was at the awards with us last year. She was on the huddle at G2E last year as well. And to run an industry leader like FanDuel, you need an industry leader as your CEO. It's as simple as that. And Amy Howe is exactly that. As Mariya mentioned earlier, she came in as an outsider, but the industry has embraced her. She's won this category the last 2 years, the only executive ever to do that. Can she make it 3 in a row? That's what we're here to find out. But FanDuel's continued dominance in sports betting, certainly acting in her favor, added to the fact, as we alluded to a couple of times, that they're now no one in the US in online casino as well.
I think she does deserve that nomination. I know often we try and not have the same people or the same companies, but sometimes when they deserve it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got some really top execs who have won this award over the years, but as I say, no one has done it twice and coming in from another industry. So she has achieved something special already, but nominated for it again. So
for sure. Next on the shortlist is Mariya Cheeks. With over 6 years as the president and general manager at Poole Casino, she has led the tribal casino from strength to strength. In the past 12 months, a $515 million expansion project to the casino's luxury hotel began, yet the casino remained humble and true to its tribal roots under Mariya's leadership, with charitable donations to organizations in San Diego supporting various causes.
Diallo Gordon, next on my list, CEO of Passport Technology, a very recent guest on the huddle. He's a charismatic presenter and he knows his product. Used to be CPO of Passport Technology, and this year was a big year for him as he moved up to the CEO role. But it's not his first leadership role. He has over 25 years of experience, including kind of technology, payments, and certainly on the casino side as well.
Next is Kim Barker, Executive Vice President and Chief Legal Officer at Bally's. The depth and breadth of her legal expertise, especially in gaming and lottery, have been instrumental as Bally's continues to evolve and pursue new projects. She plays a pivotal role in a company helping to reshape the gaming landscape nationwide, especially in Chicago. She's not just a legal expert in the gaming industry, she's a trailblazer and a global diversity and inclusion leader and advocate.
Jordan Levin is a name that consistently comes up in our shortlist. 7 years at Scientific Games that led on to him being CEO at OpenBet. But there's one statistic that really stands out in the shortlist nomination that says it better than perhaps maybe I could. 44% of all legal US wagers are through OpenBet, more than any other sports betting platform. So that sums up the job the CEO is doing at OpenBet.
Interblog's global CEO John Connolly also appears on the shortlist. He's a proven leader with over 30 years of experience in the industry and a distinguished track record of business development, innovation, and mergers and acquisitions. His extensive background within the US and international markets has played a pivotal role in increasing Interblog's market share, development, and profitability over the past 8 years. He's a driving force not just for Interblog, but for the electronic table game sector and I'd say for the industry as a whole.
Yeah, it's always fun to have John in the magazines and in our interviews. Yeah. Next up, Jennifer Aguiar, DraftKings Chief Compliance Officer. So every time we talk about the US online market, we talk about FanDuel and DraftKings. But for DraftKings, a bit like we were saying earlier with the CEO and other people in the team, she'll be as important as anyone because she's been at the company over 8 years, and every time DraftKings enters a new partnership or certainly a new market, the chief compliance officer has their work cut out, and that's what she's been doing as they keep entering new markets and keep kind of forming new deals, and there's been plenty of them in the past year alone. So Jennifer Aguiar nominated for DraftKings Chief Compliance Officer.
Next on the shortlist is Zoe Ebling, the Vice President of Interactive at AGS, who in just over a year with the company has transformed its interactive business. She was one of the key executives involved in the cross-platform launch of Raking Bacon Odyssey, which we mentioned earlier this year. This joint launch of a slot online and on land was the first, not just for AGS, but for the industry.
Brooke Fiamara is a breath of fresh air, works hard, always a pleasure to deal with, and what I find refreshing about her approach and that of Optics as a whole is it's an AI company, but it's very clear that it's AI to help people. It's not AI to replace people or anything like that. She's a co-founder, co-CEO, and what they've been doing in the past year, there's plenty of new ventures, plenty of new products, and Brooke is at the center of that for Optics.
Brian Goldbrandt, who after serving as the president of Wynn and Encore Las Vegas, was promoted to COO North America of Wynn Resorts at the start of last year. In his current role, he is responsible for all operations in both Las Vegas and Boston, while supporting all of Wynn's future developments in North America. At present, Wynn Las Vegas is on track to have its best year on record, and a lot of it is thanks to Goldbrandt's leadership.
It's not every year you get tasked with opening a new casino that costs your parent company $780 million. But this year, David Horn did that. And Gaming America was able to visit the Durango Casino and Resort in Las Vegas, as we mentioned before. We all know opening new properties isn't easy, as we also mentioned before, but David Horn leading that property to great success. They've made a great start in Las Vegas, and he deserves his nomination here.
Next is Eric Hession, president of Caesar Digital. He guided Caesar Digital to become EBITDA profitable last year. Under his leadership, the company launched Caesar's Palace online casino, which came up a few times during this Shortlist show. And it has been a huge success and helped Caesar's online casino set new quarterly records for active customers, volume, GGR and net gaming revenue in Q1 this year. He's also taking steps in accelerating Caesar Digital's growth in the sports betting vertical with the recent acquisition of Australian trading technology company Zero Flux.
Kerry Hemphill has been at the Oregon Lottery for almost 16 years, and she's been managing the sports betting program for over 5 years. We know how big lottery is as a vertical in North America. No small feat this year for Kerry as the Oregon Lottery integrating over 1,000 Light & Wonder video lottery terminals.
Next is Heidi Grant, a key executive at the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. She's Senior Executive Officer of Commerce and has been instrumental to the growth and expansion of the Choctaw Nation's gaming business. In her 22 plus years with Choctaw Nation, she held various positions in gaming as gaming grew in Oklahoma. And since joining the leadership team, she has overseen a number of casino renovations and new construction projects, including the newly opened Choctaw Landing, which again we mentioned earlier.
And the last executive on my list, Paul Pellizzari, VP of Global Social Responsibility at tribal operator Hard Rock. Paul has a big role to play. He's not dealing necessarily with how many tables a casino should have, the RTP of an online slot. He's dealing with heavy topics, responsible gaming, environmental sustainability, and Hard Rock's anti-human trafficking initiatives. This year saw Hard Rock and Seminole Gaming really intensify those very efforts, and a lot of that hard work came from Paul.
And our last nominee is Maureen Adams, who is the Executive Vice President of Gaming Operations at Churchill Downs, with a career in gaming spanning more than 25 years, 11 of which with Churchill Downs. She has been one of the key executives driving the company's evolution and transformation, which we have witnessed in recent years. With a keen aptitude for inspiring others to achieve their goals, she leads a team which plays an important role in the opening of new entertainment venues and introduction of new and innovative gaming products. Right, that was our last category. I know we've talked for a while, but we do hope you found the Shortlist show interesting. We felt like all those companies that made it to the final shortlist were really worth celebrating, and we also wanted to take the time and tell you why they were shortlisted in the first place, actually explain that. And thank you so much for this lovely chat, Tim. It's been really fun.
Likewise, thank you very much. Best of luck hosting the awards.
Thank you so much.
And best of luck to all the nominees, and we'll see the very best of the best win again this year.
Thank you. I can't wait to see who wins. And before I give you all the event details again, just a quick thank you again to our voting adjudicator, KPMG, who've been a great partner of the Global Gaming Awards for over a decade now. Of course, thank you to our stellar judging panel of over 100 executives. For me, it's amazing that they agree to do this and dedicate some of their time to choose who wins the industry's best awards. Of course, thank you to our lead partner, Bet Construct, and all category sponsors, and they are Light & Wonder, Interblock, Aristocrat, Spribe, Novomatic, Play & Go, Playtech, Soft2Bet, Bragg Gaming, Camby, the Sigma Foundation, and SCCG Management. And we can't wait to see all the shortlisted companies on October the 7th in Las Vegas. It will be on day one of G2E. What a way to kick off G2E. For those of you who can't be in attendance, we will be streaming the Global Gaming Awards Americas live from 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see you then.